Welcome ladies and gentlemen to a casted game of Age of Empires 4, and today we've got something special. It's the public update preview for Season 4 for Age of Empires 4. This is the patch that will be played in Season 4. The ranked season is coming very close to us, and well, there's been a whole host of changes, so we're taking a preview of that. And today on the west side of the map we have got crackedyhere playing in teal as the Rus. He's going to be playing up against Valdemar playing in purple as the Delhi Sultanate. Welcome to Dry Arabia, ladies and gents. Lots has changed for these two civilizations, in particular the Rus have had some changes to their landmark, the Kremlin. Now, we've not seen this landmark for a very long time. Will we see it today? I'm pretty sure we will, because both players are testing things out, but the Kremlin now may levy militia. Now, I have heard some people call it the Kremlin and Gremlins. That might stick, the Kremlin and Gremlins, but in any case, they are militia, and they are bought for essentially 100 food, which sounds very cheap, but they only last for 90 seconds. They are fast, and they're a lightly armoured unit that have around about, as we said, 90 seconds as a lifetime, and they can be activated every 3 minutes. Alrighty, well, the Rus do have some other benefits, and things have changed with the Abbey of the Trinity, for example, with certain things like the Saint's Reach effect increased from +3 range to +5, and things like the High Trade House. The Deer Spawn cooldown has actually been decreased as well from 60 to 45 seconds, so more deer will come out faster. So quite a few buffs there for the Rus already. The Delhi Sultanate have had some changes as well, some improvements. The war elephants have been made cheaper, but also village fortresses. You may have seen me cast other Delhi Sultanate games before, and I wonder whether we'll see that today, but the Delhi Sultanate, the village fortress upgrade, which allows the keeps to be turned into town centres, has now been moved to the compound of the Defender Castle Age landmark. And the reason why that's so specific is because, well, in the Castle Age, in order to get village fortresses, you used to have to get them from keeps themselves, so you actually had to build a keep and then start researching. And that used to take 5 minutes for the research to kick in as well. But now, with the compound of the Defender, as soon as you get to the Castle Age, you can actually start researching village fortresses, which has actually been reduced in research time from 3 minutes to 45 seconds. So 3 minutes 45 seconds is what you need for that village fortress upgrade to come in, and then all your keeps are town centres. And that's incredibly strong for the booming potential for the Delhi Sultanate. And yeah, I mean, we can see on the screen, I'm not going to ignore it, there are villagers going forward here for Crackedy, 8 of them. I think we might be seeing a Kremlin rush, a Kremlin into Gremlin rush. And we'll see how this one fares up, because the gold is fairly far forward for Valdemar. That's not ideal. He's got 3 villagers on that gold. Does have enough gold for the age up, but he would want to have enough gold for producing scholars, most likely, if he goes with the Dome of the Faith landmark. We'll see what he decides to do. There's the Kremlin, there's the foundation. I'm not entirely sure if Valdemar sees it. He doesn't see it just yet. That's actually quite significant. He's getting a bit of a lead time here, Crackedy, on building that landmark. But he sees it now, Valdemar. What's he going to do? He's going to pull villagers. He might just do so. We shall see how he reacts. He's going to move the 3 villagers off of gold away. He's going to make Crackedy here commit to that, but that is a strong position. It denies the wood as well. That means that the Delhi Sultanate will only have 1 wood line to deal with and has to move out to the gold here in the southeast. Villagers are being pulled though. Valdemar does not want this Kremlin to go up. I'm not sure he'll be able to deny it. I think he left it a little bit too late. And we're going to get a villager fight here. They come out the shivs. They're going to be fighting. A couple of villagers might go down. You'll see the micro for Crackedy here, breaking up some of the weaker villagers, moving them away. I think Valdemar might lose a scout. No, actually, he managed to get away with it, but in any case, this is where all the action is. Villagers getting picked apart here. And Crackedy might lose some. He lost 1 or 2. He's lost 2 villagers already, but the Kremlin will go up, and Valdemar's going to move the villagers away now. He doesn't want to lose the villagers. There's one there that's sleeping. They'll start to move away now. Kremlin goes up. So it does look like it's the Kremlin into Gremlin rush. Oh, does lose a villager there, Valdemar. That is less than ideal. Might lose a second. Might be painful if he does. Oh, he does lose a second one as well. That is not what Valdemar wanted, and those villagers are going to go out to gold now, you feel. He's going up to the next stage with the Dome of the Faith, but interesting start here for the Rus with a Kremlin rush. And I suspect we'll see the Gremlins coming out very soon. 100 food, instantly summons 6 militia to the capital town centre. Now the thing is what would be credible is if the militia obviously came out from the Kremlin itself. They don't, I'm afraid. The Gremlins in fact come out from the town centre, but they're apparently quite fast to move across the field, and they last for 90 seconds. I suspect they're going to be hitting this area here, the gold. That'll be the place to deny, I suspect, if you're Crackedyhere. And now, good thing for Valdemar, he does have the berries at the back, and does have a secure woodline for now. But that was an interesting opening. We've got a Rus strategy here developing. Kremlin into Gremlin rush, I think we will have to call it. That has been developed by that name, by the way, by Slim Stainsy. We know him from Twitch chat, so that's where it's all started. As we see the gremlins walking across the map, do look pretty good. Those are those are big hacking axes. Jeez Louise, those are huge, but they're pretty fast actually. They're keeping up with the scout. In fact, they're going a bit faster than the scout. But let's take a look at the movement speed. 1.5 tiles per second, and the scout is 1.62. Scout's slightly faster. Kind of expected, seeing as they are on, you know, it is a horse after all. But Kremlin and I spotting this lumber camp is quite nice, because don't forget the Kremlin actually acts as a wooden fortress influence as well, which means that the wood will be boosted up by 20%. That's dropped off at that lumber camp. So nice usage of those villagers there, as we see the scout going on the west side, getting poked and prodded by the arrows from the town centre. Not much else happening. The militia, the gremlins are going to the gold. Valdemar's about to get that attack notification. I like what he does here. Crackedyhere gets a good wraparound on a couple of villagers. He'll be able to take 1 or 2 out. Doesn't quite manage, just 1 so far. Is he going to try and get that weak one? He probably, well, he should really, because he can't. Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't. Actually, he decides to burn down the mining camp, which is a bit of a surprise. These guys will die in 15 seconds. Well, the potential to take another villager decides against it, though, as spearmen do start to come out for the Daily Sultanate, also transitioning into an archery range. So archer spears the army composition of choice here for the Delhi Sultanate, but another outpost, a wooden fortress going on the deer pack for Crackedy. So Kremlin into Gremlin rush with another miniature Kremlin. It's actually a wooden fortress, but in any case. Gonna get a, wait, what's that building? Okay, it's a hunting cabin. We'll get some wood, well, some gold from the wood here, as well as, of course, a drop-off point for the deer carcasses. Heavily aggressive build here for Crackedy here, as the walls are now going out on the sacred site. Except Valdemar is not deviating too much from the plan, and the Kremlin has only achieved something. It's only denied the gold. It hasn't done all that much. Managed to kill a few villagers there on the gold, but he lost a few himself during the building of the Kremlin. Speaking of villagers, 22 to 23, here come the scholars, well, the infantry coming out to wall up the other sacred site, and the scholars you can hear coming out from the Dome of the Faith. But nice map control so far, in terms of the key resources around Valdemar's base. Valdemar slowly walling up. Behind this, I wonder what the Rus will do, whether they'll go for a fast castle. Does have villagers on stone, possibly just to upgrade their wooden fortresses. We'll have to see. But as we head into the 8-minute mark, yeah, it's getting another wooden fortress here on that wood line to boost the wood income coming from the villagers back at home. Quite a few villagers on gold, stone rather, 3 of them. Wonder if that's more than just for emplacements. We'll have to see. In any case, the scholars are coming up, berries are finished. Those villagers might have to go back to sheep on the town centre. They're idle for now. But yeah, Valdemar going to be sending a scholar out to the sacred sites, which are slowly being palisaded. Scout is there for Crackedy. He's aware of what's happening here. Kremlin. Ooh, okay. The Archer's going a bit too close there to the Kremlin. Archer might be lost here. Nope. Manages to live, but does lose a lot of valuable HP. And Crackedy's not done with the walling in and the aggression. He's actually going to wall his opponent in. Maybe getting an outpost, a tower there, wooden fortress would be quite important to deny this wood line as well. That would actually be a big problem for Valdemar. Doesn't have any wood really per se at the back of his base. Have to venture very far out to get safe wood. There are 3 wood lines very close to each other, protected by the Kremlin, and a potential outpost if he's to place one there. The scholars do make it through, and he's going to make it to the sacred site. Going to activate the north one at least. That should be pretty safe to get, and the south. South one is not fully walled up, but is getting there with the single spearman, and looking to get the central one as well. But that's not going to happen. That's going to be looked to be denied. Scholar is going to make it alive. 6 militia are heading across the map again to do some damage, but the economy is pretty condensed. Oh, wooden fortress here by Crackedy. I'm not sure about that. That's going to go up. I don't think it will. Villager being pulled away. Yeah, he was a bit too aggressive, you feel. Maybe could have got on away with an outpost there. Wooden fortress on the other side of the woodline, and of course it wouldn't fully deny the woodline just yet, but the militia get there a little bit too slowly. Doesn't quite manage it. Didn't time it perfectly. Going quite heavy on stone. I suspect it's going to be another town centre for Crackedy here in the feudal age. Going to be playing that extended feudal age, which Delhi don't necessarily mind too much, especially seeing as now he's got 2 sacred sites. Passive gold generation will be quite nice. Oh, he's going to run a few units into the Kremlin though. It's less than ideal. The pathing is not ideal. I think the waypoint for Valdemar's units are on the other side of the wall, and that's the only way they can path around. And Now, it does look like crackedyhere getting that wooden fortress on the other side of the wood line now. Let's have the southern sacred site as well. Let's take out some cavalry there. That lonely spearman, but 2 sacred sites is a very nice start, and looking to get the third as well. Because that crackedy is kind of letting up on the pressure a little bit. Partly because of the second town centre plate. It might even just be for a keep, actually. It does look like it, because he doesn't have the wood. And he's got plenty of... Yeah, this is for a keep. There's just too many villagers on stone for this to be second town centre, right? No, maybe it is a second town centre. It's going to move villagers over to wood now. Okay, to be determined. We're not quite sure just yet what's going to be happening. Would be a bit too early to go on stone for the castle age keep. He hasn't got the gold he needs. In any case, the Delhi Sultanate quite happy to be in the feudal age. There we are, activating the sacred site timer. 10 minutes and ticking. That wooden fortress in a nice spot. We'll be getting arrow slits there. Another wooden fortress looking to be put down. Valdemar should be able to see that, actually. No, but he's not reacting to it just yet. There he is. There's the reaction. Villagers being pulled to torch this down. And I think they will manage. Crackedy's going to have to move that villager away. I think the villager's dead. The villager dies. Going to have to delete that outpost. He does indeed. Saves himself losing from wood. But yeah, 3 sacred sites now in the grasp of Delhi Sultanate. Looking strong. That's going to give him a lot of gold income passively. And looks like Delhi Sultanate might be looking to get to that next stage. We're interesting to see if then Valdemar moves villagers onto stone. We'll get some villager picks here if Crackedy doesn't respond. He doesn't respond quick enough. Villagers will go down. Good wrap around. Spearmen and archers. 1, 2, at least 3. Possibly just 2 for now. 2 go down. Good amount of damage coming from the wooden fortress. Does pick off an archer, maybe a spearman too, but they get away with it. And the scholars are there to heal up. There's the compound of the defender landmark. This is the landmark we were talking about earlier, which can research village fortresses. And I wonder whether Valdemar will go on stone after this. We'll see. Maybe look at just double down in the castle age, produce units instead. It's going to rush. Where are these villagers going? A lot of them. Okay, yeah, they're all going to build the compound of the defender. Eco upgrades are pretty even for both players. Just horticulture, crackedyhere is missing compared to Valdemar. You can see wood fortresses looking to be put down on the wood lines for crackedyhere. He wants the gold income for the Rus. Courtesy of the hunting cabins. Okay. A couple of stables. 1 stable, 1 barracks, 1 archery range. Has another barracks as well. I suspect it will be maybe a mixture of knights and man-at-arms. We'll have to see what Valdemar opts to do, but not looking to boom away. He's got 3 sacred sites, and why would he? Just needs to produce units and defend these sacred sites, and he'll be absolutely fine. There's that castle age now for Valdemar. Crackedyhere quite far behind, committed with a decent amount of stone, but he mined it pretty early. Didn't actually take into that second town centre in the end. He's going for a castle age, but maybe it was a bit late to go on gold. Possibly could have gone there a little bit quicker had he not mined the stone extra, but now he's kind of in a pickle. He's in a bad spot, actually, because his opponent is in the castle age himself and will be able to start producing castle age units. He's got the lead time in that regard, maybe even looking to pick up some relics. But he has actually now focused on this wood line, pushed Valdemar off this wood line. So Valdemar will have to move those villagers elsewhere for wood. Where has he gone for it? That's the question. Can't spot the villagers anywhere. Does still have some wood income though. In any case, a bit of a pick off there, the scholar. Valdemar maybe looking to pick up some relics. Does have another 2 there. 2 archers will do some damage, but not enough, you feel. There are archers camping in the Rus base. Not really getting any value there. Losing a couple to the town centre. A little bit sloppy there for Valdemar by his high standards, of course. But very messy game. Lots of things happening. Man-at-arms looking to torch down 2 wooden fortresses though. Not sure if this is going to go down well. It's certainly going to lose units doing this. It does have villages idled because of it, and does have 3 sacred sites rather. Still, there's the Abbey of the Trinity going up for crackedyhere, and it's an interesting choice because there aren't. I mean, the issue is relics, and I think that's what he's going to go for. He wants to pick them up whilst he can, but we can hear relics being picked up already by Valdemar, 2 of them. Has got 3 already in his grasp, and I think crackedyhere might have misplayed this a little bit with the Abbey of the Trinity. There aren't going to be relics left for him to collect. The 4 of them have been picked up, and now the castle age comes in for Crackedy at the 15-minute mark, where the wooden fortresses are being taken down, and Lost a couple of villages there, but the villages are relatively even between the two players. Gold income looking pretty decent though for Crackedy here. Struggling for food. That is the huge concern. Crackedy hasn't got the food income at home. Most of it was here on the deer pack and he lost that pretty quickly. Yeah, the macro's kind of off here for Crackedy. Might need a hard farming transition. We hear elephants coming out here for Valdemar as well. Now the elephants have been buffed. Their tusk damage has been increased by plus 50 against buildings. So this will take care of the wooden fortress, that's for sure, very easily. But they also have been made cheaper. Might not even need the elephant. Takes down the hunting cabin pretty quickly. Wooden fortress will go down. There are 4 villagers inside. Those were food gathering villages, and yeah, they are going to be perishing very quickly. Up on the north on the wood line. That's something that Crackedy has done well to deny. Yeah, there's actually no wood income here for Valdemar, but I don't think he minds at all. His units at the moment just costing food and gold. That's all he wants. Sacred site approaching. This victory win condition, 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes even, to go as the 5th and final relic has been picked up by Valdemar. He's going to have lots of gold income. 5 relics and the 3 sacred sites. Villagers all crowding around the sheep. That sheep's going to expire or run out very soon, and he's going to struggle to move on to another food resources. And man-at-arms, Lonely, starts to dive in, idling a lot of villagers. Great value from 1 man-at-arms and 3 archers, idling 13 or 15 villagers in total. Here come out the militia, the gremlins, the Kremlin and Gremlins. But this is looking an increasingly messy game for Crackedy. I'm not sure he has a win condition back into this. He needs to first deny the sacred site, but how does he do that? It's all palisade walled. He doesn't really have much military. He has half the military at the moment, 15 to 34. Just floating so much wood here. And this is the problem. This is sometimes the concern that you have when you go aggressive. Sometimes the macro is not quite what you'd expect it to be, with villagers just going to mine resources where they're close to. And now the Kremlin is going to be taken down by Valdemar as well. He feels probably quite comfortable here with the elephants. A tower elephant, a normal war elephant, and a scholar here healing up as well. And it's actually the war elephant tanking a lot of the damage from the Kremlin, which is not ideal because the Kremlin could be taking out victory instead. Scholar looks to be enough here to heal up that elephant pretty nicely. And now with 1 landmark gone, there are 2 more landmarks on the field that Valdemar will need to take care of, but I don't think that's really his win condition here that he's going to worry about. Sacred site looks to be way forward. Here comes the aggression militia. Oh, they're still alive. They're going to be running out in 20 seconds rather. Going up against a spearman. Valdemar doesn't necessarily need to take the fight. Looks like he will. 3 minutes till that sacred site. I'm not sure Crackedy has enough to deny. It's going to go for the northern sacred site, but only with 1 knight. That's not going to be enough. He needs more melee units there now. He's struggling. Been taken out here on the south, and wonder whether we'll see the GG soon, because it does feel very, very difficult here for Crackedy to come back into this game. Let's have a couple more stables and a couple of warrior monks in the field. Actually, he actually managed to get 2 relics. Surprised by that. Okay, he picked up 2 relics, but maybe it wasn't too late. As we see a keep coming down for Valdemar in a very forward position, and I'm not sure Crackedy here has what it takes to deny this. That could be a get out of my game keep, and it looks like it. Valdemar has a knight there on the north. It looks like he's going to pull everything to the keep that's in front of the central sacred site. Where are the villagers? That's the question. Coming across the map, there they are, going past that central sacred site. And units are actually on the foundation, so I might delete that and replace it. He does exactly that. The elephants should be enough. There is a scholar behind as well, and I don't think Crackedy here has enough. He's going to deny this gold. And that will be huge for winning this game, you feel. Only 2 minutes on the sacred site left, and I think Valdemar has this game in the bank, but this shows you the power of the Delhi Sultanate. It shows you a bit of a sneak peek of the Kremlin and Gremlin rush from the Rus. Not sure how... I think there's potential. I think maybe Crackedy had a bit of a miss macro by his high standards. Not really something you expect to happen. I think he will be looking back on this game and thinking some things could be done better, but it's an interesting strategy, a good opening with the Kremlin and Gremlin rush, as Valdemar now pulls villagers on the hunting cabin, starts to torch it down, and Crackedy here going to head back with his army to the safety of his town centre, because the elephants are pushing him back, and this is a good victory for Valdemar. I feel like he's not going to head any other direction unless Crackedy can somehow decap the sacred sites. But he's got a lot on his plate already, having to deal with the elephants in the heart of his base. Might need to get another batch of militia. I'm not sure if the cooldown allows him to. The keep will go up, and well, I suspect he's got village fortresses. Not that it matters all that much, but could technically produce villages from this keep if you wanted to, and even mine gold. 1 more minute to the sacred site victory. I think this game is probably Probably looking over as man-at-arms are dancing in the base of the Rus. And there it is. There's the GG, ladies and gentlemen. Crackedyhere tried a Kremlin Gremlin rush, an interesting strategy I'm sure could be developed further and looked into. But the Delhi Sultanate here are victorious on Dry Arabia.